Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Magic here. I'm going to be doing another cast for you today before my analysis later on. Let's see, what do we got? We got Danny, also known as Exotica, who is, well, he was a Grandmasters level competitor a couple seasons ago. Now I believe he's just top 8 Masters, but either way he is a very good player, so don't take him too lightly. Alright, so let's put our, let's see, make sure I have the overlay. I don't know, my hotkeys are kind of different now because, well, XSplit decided to be a little bit different, and, well, I just set everything back up because they just had an update. Totally screwed me over. I had to quickly redo everything, and I was like late for everything, but either way, Exotica has spawned at the bottom 6 o'clock position here as our red Protoss player, and then at the top we do have Grubby, who has spawned at the top 12 o'clock position. And it is the Shattered Temple in cross positions, actually. So it is quite a ways to your opponent's base, but the center is very, very wide open. And we'll see what these players decide to do. It is Protoss against Protoss, so we'll see if there's going to be a 4 gates or not. You know, 4 gates actually are not very good anymore. Generally speaking, you go for some kind of Robotech, get out a whole bunch of Immortals, and then you can just punish people who go for a gate, you know, get a sentry, you know, wall the ramp, and just get a bunch of Immortals and 4 gate action. Excuse me. It's not very good at that point. You gotta, you know, no matter what, you get like a bunch of Immortals out, and then, you know, by the time your opponent actually lets you up that ramp, you know, you just can't do anything. So, you know, generally speaking, you don't see that all that much anymore. And it looks like both players went for that gas pretty early on. It looks like Exotica's gas is a little bit sooner. It looks like it is more or less for the robotics timing, you know, or Stargate timing maybe. He's going to get up those early sentries and be able to do some damage that way. Meanwhile, it does look like he does have a probe out. It's a scout. It's going to be checking things out. Grubby coming out of his base right now as well. But Exotica going to have a little bit of an earlier timing with that. It's going to be just seeing what's going on. Make sure there's no forge that went down or anything crazy like that. Looks like there's a cyber though going down for both players right around the same time. Now in this matchup, it does seem kind of boring. There really isn't a lot going on. Like there's always like the standard way of playing, but you know, without that 4 gate, there's actually a lot that could happen. Just not yet. You know, after the cybernetics core is when it starts to get a little bit interesting. And, well, we'll see what happens. It looks like that probe was surrounded. A little bit of damage taken there, but that probe could be able to get out alive with half its hit points, which is actually a fourth of everything. So, I mean, it would have only taken a couple more hits to kill that probe off. Meanwhile, it looks like Grubby's probe is perfectly intact here, just going to be running around, and is being chased by the Zealots. So that probe possibly going to make it out alive, as Zealots are actually slightly slower than probes. Probes are actually a little bit faster, so he's going to be able to run around for a long time, and possibly make his way out of the base. Yes, it looks like he's going out of the base. Now that the Stalker's out, the Stalker is in pursuit. He is a little bit faster than the probe here, so we'll see if he catches up and kills it off. Meanwhile, it looks like that probe of Exotica has escaped before that Stalker came out. For Grubby. Now Grubby does have his Stark coming out to defend that probe. We'll see. Looks like the probe is going to get out alive. You know, he regenerated all of his shields as well, so not even a scratch on that guy. And now there's a small engagement. You know, just one Zealot, one Stalker. Looks like it's up to micro at this point. Looks like Grubby is taking a little bit of extra damage. Now that Zealot's coming out, he's taking a little bit of extra damage. Either way, it looks like mostly shields. Yeah, actually all shields were Grubby just losing 7 hit points there. You know, that's really the extent of that damage. You know, both players not wanting to lose any units at all. You know, it is kind of a risky move to lose them like that. Exotica actually just regained with another Stalker, so he's actually maybe going to pursue that. Meanwhile, it looks like Grubby does have a pylon down here in the close proximity of Exotica, and we'll see if he's going to be doing no, he's not doing a 4 gate. He's just expanded right now. His Nexus going up and that pylon, so he's doing a 3 gate expand here. Which is kind of, you know, back in the day it was like Protoss, you just never do that, but now it's actually more reasonable since players are going for Immortal. So with that in mind, Grubby just getting up a fast expansion. He actually has some units out here to do some pressure as well. So I mean, he makes it look like, oh, I'm 4 gating you, I'm pressuring you, I'm putting down all these pylons. and then he could actually just pull it back, you know, cancel this pylon and pull it back. We'll see if he actually lets him finish there. Grubby actually throwing off a couple of extra pylons as well, canceling that one, and it looks like, I believe he's probably going to be canceling the second one. Yeah, there's that cancel on that one. So now he's going to be running back, and well, let's see, what is he forcing from Exotica? Exotica's still sitting on 3 gates and that Robo. So now he's going to be coming out of his base, maybe doing an expansion soon. But yeah, he's going to be running into those Stalkers. Now, Stalkers are pretty much the best thing you can have right now, you know, in terms of damage. Zealots are not very good at damage. They're good at absorbing damage compared to the Stalker for their cost. Sentries, of course, are the magic unit, you know, due to the force fielding. So Exotica really doesn't have a force to take all these Stalkers on right now. These Stalkers can kite Zealots all day long, and he doesn't have any. He doesn't really even have any Zealots. Just a lot of sentries. Sentries, of course, forced by Grubby just by making that pylon there, making a pylon in Exotica's main, and just making it look like, oh, I'm in the 4-game here, so I need, you know, so you need a lot of sentries. But anyways, either way, Grubby very, very safely getting up that expansion, getting up some extra probes as well. It looks like the count is 32 for Grubby, 26 for Exotica. So Exotica actually pulling quite behind on that, but now he has that observer out. He's going to be able to spot that expansion. He does not yet. He's about to run over there. He's going to see it right about now. There it is. And, well, Grubby, well, he's still trying to do as much as he can. There is an Immortal out for Exotica now. And, well, Grubby is going to be losing all these units now that he went up there. That was kind of a huge blunder right there. Just, you know, trying to get away or trying to do as much damage as possible, but doing too much. He's actually picking off some sentries, so that's worth something. But in a big scale fight, that's going to help him. The Stalkers are going to be a big issue here. He just lost all those Stalkers, and now he even has some units back here. Maybe going to be doing a counterattack if Exotica comes out of his base. We'll see what he decides. Nope, he's going to go right back to his base, and he's going to run right into Exotica, actually. Right in the center here at the Watchtower, so with that in mind, Grubby's going to be losing a couple more units here, so Exotica actually might be able to win right here. Grubby just does not have enough buildings to produce units right now. He does have 3 gates and that Robo, producing a couple of Immortals, you know, he even has that Colonel boost down there. A couple more gateways going down, but I don't know if they're going to be up in time because Exotica is knocking at the door and these probes going to be forced to run back in there to mine from the main instead of from the natural. Now from Exotica, I really wish he would just attack here, you know, he's just kind of sitting there, not playing it as cool as he could have, and Grubby just, you know, is going to be just chilling at the top of the ramp there, saying, you know what, I kind of have to sack my Nexus there at my natural. I'm just gotta, you know, if I lose it, I lose it. Type of thing. Just staying at the top of the ramp there to defend his main. So you can't afford to lose that. We'll see if Exotica decides to put down a Nexus. Looks like he has. Oh nope, that's an Immortal. I was gonna say if he has a probe coming out, that's probably gonna be a Nexus. And well, Grubby is gonna be losing his natural, but he does have a couple of Immortals out here. So Exotica here actually has a bigger force, and Grubby just kind of making that one big mistake. Whoops. Move my mouse back of just going up to the top there, you know, losing too many units that way, and now it looks like Exotica is expanding. So either way, Exotica, if he comes up here or not, he's going to be ahead. You know, right now he's not ahead on the probes, but with the extra expansion, he's going to be able to get a lot more extra money just having a good spread on his workers there. Now, also at the same time, wish Exotica would just stay up here and try to contain as long as possible and then move, you know, once he saw Grubby come out. But now he's just kind of letting Grubby out of his base, and this pylon is just going to be picked off. And, well, looks like Grubby's just going to be re-expanding. So, I mean, Grubby is going to be able to maybe get back in this game. I know he does still have more workers and all that, but at the same time, Exotica just has the bigger force. You know, Grubby just really needs to build up that extra force. He can't really be afforded to attacking right now. You know, pressure's good. You know, make sure that your opponent keeps macro, and you know that's why you do pressure. Make sure he has enough units to defend. If he doesn't, you just kill him. But Exotica definitely does. And he's trying to scout in there with that observer, not going to be having it. And a lot of his units getting caught off there with those force fields, and Exotica definitely going to be moving ahead with this. And I'm sure Grubby is probably going to be giving the GG once his forces are cleaned up here. There's just not much he has anymore. You know, once the force fields are gone, Exotica is going to be moving up there, doing some damage, and well, Grubby's going to be forced to GG at that point. Just doesn't have enough guys, you know. So Grubby even doing a little bit of remote mining. You know, since he does have an excess of probes at his at his main here, and yeah, now the worker count is a lot closer, and Exotica is catching up. So, oh, there's another engagement in the center here. But yeah, some good force fields against those Zealots, and Exotica's just playing an extremely good game. Grubby giving the GG, And very nicely played there from Exotica. Well, this cast has been made to you, brought to you by Magic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And so I am signing off.